Oh ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Chaos Head. Let me get rid of that. Last time we were taken to Shibuya Scramble by Seratan in the middle of Shibuya Scramble. We were... how should I put it? We were like... attacked by a... we were attacked. We were attacked by a bunch of journalists and also the general public. And then suddenly... Shogun came and rescued us. Shogun revealed that they were actually me, that, you know, I was another Takumi that was created by the original Takumi, who is also known as Shogun. Also, it seemed like there was some shooting that was happening in the middle of Shibuya Scramble, so that might allude to something else that really happened. Hopefully we'll find out more about that. Then we saw... some kind of liminal space, like an open kind of empty sky, empty blue sky, azure sky. Is that how you say azure? A-Z-U-R-E. And we saw, I think we saw Shogun recreate Rimi. Rimi, who apparently, up until that point, had wanted to die numerous times. And the promise of seeing a clear blue sky has helped her not to have that. Don't know how much weight to take that dialogue with, but it kind of implied that the current Remy doesn't have that desire to die. Maybe, I don't know. And now we are seeing the real Takumi, Shogun, waking up in his hospital bed, and we're also seeing Nanami visiting Shogun. Oh, also Shogun is apparently 17 as well. So it seems like maybe Shogun is actually, I don't know, got some kind of condition that makes them look really old, and maybe is heavily disabled in some way, because they obviously use a wheelchair. And they're being looked after by Nanami, and they're talking about how... let's have a look at the log. Backlog. Talking about how they've got a visitor, and then we're assuming this is maybe Rimi, and maybe this is Shogun realizing that he has actually born Rimi into real existence. Maybe, I don't know. And it's interesting because the copy of Shogun, we've already established it's not supposed to be a copy. It's meant to be another Takumi. Actually can make, you know, the original Shogun apparently made Rimi, and the second Shogun, Shogun the second, Takumi, our Takumi, is maybe making people themselves, or maybe not. I mean, they're definitely making Seratan, or at least imagining Seratan. Anyway, enough talking, let's go. So, we just said... hair was dry and neglected, growing according to its own whims. Her fingernails were cracked, her skin was morbidly pale. Her eyes constantly squinted as if dazzled by a brilliant light. Were you able to see the real sky? Right, so this is Rimi. Yes. Oh, right! Nanami, who'd been watching us talking, suddenly clapped her hands in apparent remembrance. I've got to go do the laundry. What was your name? Rimi-san. Well, you two have fun. Nanami left the room. Rimi and I vacantly watched her depart. Rimi then turned back toward me. Oh, I wonder whether... Oh, I've just had a realization. So, the Nanami that the second Takumi is seeing is a figment of his imagination. And he's made that Nanami. Oh, it's so interesting. Is that the thing? Because we saw that Nanami disappeared when we were at the house last time, when we were at Takumi's shipping container house. Okay. So, this is Rimi talking, I'm assuming. How long have you been hospitalized, Takumi? About 5 years. Is there an estimate on when you'll be able to leave? No, I have about 2 more years until I die. Thanks to you, I was able to hang on. I thought it would never end, but even so, I told myself to keep going. Until I could see the sky you told me about. But then all of a sudden I was allowed to leave. Though it's probably more accurate to say I'd served my purpose. I'm not sure if is it definitely Takumi talking? I think maybe that was Remy talking. That makes more sense with the sky talk. God damn it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right, is there an estimate on when you'll be able to leave? No, I have about 2 more years until I die. This is Remy. Thanks to you, I was able to hang on. Thought I'd never end, but even so... Wait, I don't know. About 5 years is an estimate on when you'll be able to leave. I have about 2 more years until I die. We can't actually listen to this, can we? Because I turned off the thing, and I don't know if it's easy to do that just for this little bit. I don't think so. Alright. So I'm going to assume it makes more sense. But also, Takumi Shogun could want to see the sky as well. I don't know. I see. You saved my life. So this time I want to pay you back. I want to be your strength. You don't need to worry about that. You don't have to go out of your way to see me. From now on, I want you to live a normal life. But I don't know how to live a normal life or talk properly, apparently. Sometimes I feel like my voice that I do for Remy's on point, as in it's like, you know, a consistent voice, and then I'll read sentences like that and I'll revisit and go, I need to rethink how I'm doing her voice, but it's so deep into the story now. Remy's past, Remy's feelings, Remy's resolve. My chest tightened as I remembered them all. Why did Remy oh, hang on. That's our Takumi? Or is it the Takumi? Did Remy approach me? Ah, okay, yeah. Her being close to you allowed her to watch over your actions. The people who would come in contact with you as well as prevent you from awakening. Please don't resent her for that. She's just a hopeless meddler, that's all. A tinge of sadness appeared in Shogun's voice. I didn't want to involve her, but no matter how hard I tried to keep her away, she wouldn't listen. Despite everything I said to her, she felt that she was indebted to me. She truly is a hopeless meddler. Who is holding Remy and Nanami captive? The one in charge of Project Noah. The mastermind behind it all, Narose Genichi. He's also the one who captured and tortured Remy in the past. And yet, despite all the suffering he's put her through, Remy went to confront that man alone. Also, she could save me, Nanami, and you. A voice echoed within my head. It uttered the words of a Remy I didn't know. Words she'd spoken to Shogun. Is Shogun seeing this, showing this to me? Oh, hello. Remy? Ah, yeah, it's me. Truth is, I have something to report. I think it's time to go and save Nana-chan now. Do not. I know you don't want to see that man again. Oh. I know, hang on. That is Takumi, right? I know you don't want to see that man again. Narose. You don't trust me, do you? I'm telling you, it'll be fine. Besides, that's all in the past. If I have to choose between my feelings or saving Nana-chan, I think it's pretty obvious which one I'm gonna pick. Saving an army and putting an end to Project Noah is my responsibility. Or, wrong person. Saving an army and putting an end to Project Noah is my responsibility. You don't have to go that far. Like I told you, I want to be your strength. Okay. That's Remy. But, also, I don't want to drag Taku into this. Ever the meddler, aren't you? Maybe. Though you're the one who says that about me. Hey, is it okay if I tell you something? It won't take long. I told Taku a lot of awful things. And while I know it's selfish to say this after everything I've done, all the time I spent together with him, it was all really, really fun. Even though it was all make-believe, even though it was all steeped in delusions. My school life. Taku and I going to that school. Being friends with Daichin. Me trying hard to stay by Taku's side. And even Taku's existence itself. Taku's so helpless, weak and pathetic. He's the kind of boy a normal girl would never even look at, let alone go near. And yet despite it all, my heart tells me how fun it was. Despite it all, my heart tells me how much I wanted to spend more time with him. What do these feelings mean? It might be something similar to imprinting. Like it's something instinctual. That would be surprisingly romantic. If that all made you happy, I'm sure it must have made him happy as well. If that's true, that'd be really nice. Because Taku and I, we have a lot in common. A body created through delusions. And a personality created through delusions. They're not so different, are they? No. That's why I couldn't bring myself to erase him. Is this Shogun? Is this Remy? Who the fuck knows? Even though I'd convinced myself that I had to. I guess. I grew attached to him at some point. I just want him to live a normal life. I want to help both Takumi and Taku. So, please, leave Taku out of this. I can't do this. I can't do that. He has to destroy Noah the Second. I can take care of that. You don't need to do that. You should be the one to live a normal life. Well, I've got to hang up now. Remy, don't! It'll be fine, really. You don't have to worry about a thing. I promise, I'll put an end to everything myself. Okay. Oh, okay. Takumi? So we saw part of that conversation before, didn't we? After it was already too late. Remy's words sank into my heart. She really was a hopeless meddler. Why did she have to keep fighting so hard? Why did she have to keep acting so selfishly? Selflessly, rather. Because I'm on your side, Taku. Memories of Remy all came back to me. Memories of the short time we had spent together until now. Memories of the feelings that had been hidden behind every word she'd said. I'll stay by your side. Over the past year and a half, if I had to summarise what I'd done, it'd mostly be ESO, RMT and Eroge. I devoted myself entirely to those things, all while staying shut inside my base. I'd barely gone to school, and I rarely tried to talk to anyone. Born into this world, I'd lived as though I was dead. But for the past month or so, that had changed. There she is. So what was she doing at the crucifixion? Have we been told that already? And even though as a result of this I'd been lied to. We'll go to school in the morning. She'd stay by the side of someone like me. Talk about whatever comes to mind in between classes. She'd given me peace of mind when I was quivering in fear. Eat together at lunchtime. She supported the failure that I was, encouraged me. Then at the end of the day, we'll head back home. She'd embrace me, sometimes stopping by a shop or two on the way back. She taught a delusionary existence like me the warmth that humanity held. Then when we do get back, we'll chat for a bit in your room. She could have erased me, and yet she tried to protect me. And then when you all took it out, we'll say goodbye with a nice wave, and I'll see you tomorrow. She'd made memories with me. If you find me that, I can definitely go the distance. In my 1.5 year long life, I could still vividly remember the time I'd spent with her, even now. I've always wanted to be that person for someone. We're gonna have to save her, guys. Rimi's little gestures. Rimi's scent wafting from her hair. Rimi's little sighs and the sound that came from them. Rimi's glimmering eyes. Rimi's cheerful voice. Rimi's tender warmth. Ah, I see. I was in love with Rimi. How disgusting was that? What a freak. A wry smile crept onto my face in response to my own creepiness. A delusionary existence falling in love? Were feelings of love something that a delusionary existence could feel, or were they a mere illusion? I really didn't know, but I wanted to be true to these feelings. Rimi saw me as a friend. There was no way she saw me as someone of the opposite sex. Someone of the opposite sex. Besides, an otaku freak like me wouldn't go well together with her. But even so, even if she didn't love me back, even if it was just for my own satisfaction, even if I was just a delusionary existence, I at least wanted to do something for someone. For Rimi. Before I disappeared. Sometimes I make weird noises. It was disgusting that a disgusting otaku freak would fall in love. It was disgusting that It was disgusting that a disgusting delusionary existence would fall in love. But so what? Even if it was disgusting. Why is it disgusting? Exactly? Just because delusions shouldn't exist? Even if it wouldn't go anywhere. I didn't want to brush those feelings away as mere illusions and delusions. The memories of this past month were both Rimi's and mine, mutually recognised between us both. Even if the rest was just make-believe, these memories and the feelings born from them were real. I want you to save the world. So Shogun said. I shook my head. I'm no hero. I'm not even human. What are you thinking? Asking someone like me to save the world? I know how terrible it is to ask this of you, but there's no other way. Apologizing to your own self. Do you realize how stupid that sounds? I glared at the real me. The real me caught the fake me's gaze. I hate you. I envy you. I won't do it for the sake of the world. I couldn't care less about saving the world. I'd be the one to give meaning to my birth. But I will save Remy. Thank you. Thank you. The sounds around me started coming back. More and more oil was being poured on the fires of chaos. It had already become a riot. I was hit with the smell of blood. Around me I heard the sounds of screams, shouts, moans, and a mechanical noise that sounded almost like audio feedback. It all pulled together and overflowed across the crossing. Tell me how to get a D-sword. You should already know how. Genuine throat problem then. Maybe I should lean into that to get Shogun's real voice. My gaze moved upward, looking for the silhouette of a sword blending into the scenery. I don't see one. Rocks were thrown around, canisters of tear gas made smoke rise from the ground, and people from every direction crashed into me time and time again. In the centre of it all, I focused and saw the sword I had once seen from the roof of Ofront. It had to be visible already. Without a doubt, it had to be there somehow. It had to be here somehow. Lost amid the scenery. My D-sword was always right beside me. Now, seize it. Found it. On the building to the right of 107 there was a vertical billboard, and when I looked toward it, I saw the shape of a sword. Anxiety seeped into me. I swallowed back my saliva. When I had looked from the roof of Ofront, I'd been able to perceive its shape. But in the end, I hadn't been able to physically grasp it. Hold on to your will to find it. You mustn't waver. You already are more than capable of obtaining your D-sword. I extended my hand as I stood in place. In order to save someone dear to me, I had to get it no matter what. No matter what! I gritted my teeth. This wouldn't be like last time. My mind was surprisingly calm. I wasn't afraid. I couldn't be afraid. But it wasn't that I was keeping a cool head. Emotions simmered and boiled inside me. I had something I needed to do. Grasp it! 107 was about 100 meters away, and upon overlapping my fist with the sword, I grasped it. Even though I should have grabbed an empty spot in the air, there was something there. It was neither hot nor cold, neither hard nor soft. Keeping my hold on it, I drew it closer to me. Ripples surfaced across the air, and from within those ripples it slid free. Whoa, look, I've got it! Check me out. You proud of me now, Dad? All too long to be called a sword. Delicate enough to shatter at a moment's notice. Pervaded with phantasmal elegance. Lacking any meretricious features, absent of all garishness. Garishness? With an immaculate malice, capable of swallowing one's soul whole, on which belonged an awe-inspiring beauty. Linking with my exalted heart, the design of the sinister flames on the handle flickered. I didn't feel even an ounce of weight. Rather, it was as if it was an extension of my arm, as though it had been there from the very beginning, as though it were a part of my own body. It didn't feel like I was holding a sword. So this was a D-sword. I grasped it firmly with both hands. I should have been able to reel boot it now. If I got it to be mutually recognized by my surroundings, the sword would be brought forth into reality. As for how to do it, I didn't know. I simply desired it. I shouted within my heart for it to become reality. All hesitation within me was gone. Ah! The D-sword, as if answering my calls, started faintly shining. The flame pattern on the hilt transformed into real flames. Flames which swiftly enveloped my sword. No, enveloped the sword. And yet I felt no heat. Tomato, tomato. Soon enough, those flames were swallowed by the entirety of the sword's body. And... it went slightly pink. Together with a fierce impact, the D-sword shone with a crimson light. A number of the people around me were surprised by my sword. However, it was only a handful of them. Only a handful were left dumbfounded by its appearance. The others were too focused on punching and kicking each other. The riots didn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. You must find the porters causing these riots. If you destroy the devices they hold, the heightened biorhythms should be alleviated. Porters? Those who exist as terminals for no other second. You yourself should have seen that hint already. It should be carved into your mind, as memories. I called forth all that I had seen. This is... who is this? This is Fez, right? Flying cross, and now the promise I will. The promise will? Is this you? So, you've finally shown yourself. Now I've just got to grab onto you and never let go. It must be so hard. Cool. Faithworks Limited. Ever heard of them? An army. Give it back! Give my bangle back! Location L28. 0.62 Mega GE. The highest score yet. What kind of magic trick is that? Or was that band saying that actually? Nozomi! Within my company, they are what we call porters. More precisely, one could perhaps refer to them as mind control units. And with that, I remembered some things. All of the things I had unconsciously seen. All of the thoughts I'd unconsciously read. Huh. Guess I'm a peeping Tom. How in character? Shogun calmly gave me orders as I laughed at myself. Open your channel and read the porters' minds, like Kozopi would. They are somewhere in Scramble Crossing. Search for them. Find them. I opened my channel. I didn't have to think about what to do. Without being conscious of it, I enacted it by... what? I enacted it by feel alone. Oh, by feel alone. I'm just reading this with Takumi's character in mind. He's just talking about feeling alone all the time. And then, the minds of everyone here, their negative emotions, became visible and instantly flowed into me. Malice, hatred, envy, lust, servility, cowardice, superficiality, corruption, cunning, indecency, hideousness, vulgarity, libido, madness, bloodthirst. It was the manifestation of the unsightly emotions people hid from one another, more brutal, unequivocal, and repugnant than words could ever be. All the negative emotions people held inside them because a torrent of images, and this torrent proceeded to swallow up, shatter, and violate my mind. I was verbally abused by words of disdain. Gazes of contempt rained down on me. I was spat on. My nails were peeled off. I was punched in the face multiple times. I was kicked in the ass. My hair was torn out. My nose was chewed into shreds. My eyeballs were gouged out. My tongue was ripped from its mouth. My blood was sucked. I was showered with boiling water and covered with burns. I was raped in the ant. Oh my god, okay. My genitals were crushed. All my skin was torn off. My arms were broken. All my bones were broken. I was beaten with a blunt weapon. I was stabbed with a blade. My organs were gouged out. My neck was strangled. My flesh was eaten by a giant beast. I was thrown off of a high place. I was drowned in a pool of water. I had my entire body burned by flames. Having synchronized with it all, my mind was being broken. I felt like I was about to go insane. I gritted my teeth and desperately held on to my consciousness. Was this how Kozupi had lived her whole life? Control the delusions you want to see. Don't receive them all. Ring out the target. Use the sound to your advantage. The sound? All while enduring the negative emotions overwhelming me, I listened carefully. What came to me were voices from all around. Isolating them, I searched for the sound. I heard a mechanical sound, the one Sarah Tan had said would kill me. The sound had also been inside the memories I'd gotten from reading minds. Senna had destroyed a porter's rucksack that had emitted the sound from a D-sword. So if I were to focus on that sound, the delusions I heard. May the divine light save us. May the divine light save us. There were multiple voices. There was more than one porter here. It looks like there are 3 of them. Holding my breath, I took a step forward. In front of me was the chaotic crowd. Without a trace of order, they moved throughout the scrambled crossing as they pleased, beating each other within an inch of their lives. It would be difficult to go straight through. I'd hacked the delusions of the people in the direction of the target. And so, little by little, the people in the field of view came... And so, little by little, the people in my field of view made way, and there a path was made for me. There was a single man about 50 meters from me, and all the obstacles between me and him had now been removed. Our eyes met. He was a plump man in a suit wearing a rucksack on his back. There's the first. Taking the shortest path there, I ran. Straight ahead. Through the crowd. Without bumping into anyone. All while dragging my D-sword along with me. How? The porter, having noticed me, frantically turned around and tried to run, but I wouldn't allow it. Just like Senna, I swung my D-sword, a blade longer than I was tall. As always, it felt weightless. I could wield it like it was an extension of my arm. Boom! The tip of the D-sword dug into the rucksack, and then almost as if it'd been melted at an unfathomably high temperature, its contents were vaporized. The man sank to the ground, cradling his head as he trembled from fear. Without looking at him even one more time, I headed for the second one. And we'll see exactly how we get on with the second one next time on Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chaos Head, and I'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye! Bye-bye-bye-bye-bye.